Why are people from all around the world trying to get their hands on kangaroo tail leather when cow leather is everywhere? Now, if you're like me, you got a hold of one of those rectangular benchtop strops, cowhide. You got yourself a green crayon and you just started going crazy. But if you're chasing the ultimate sharpness, one rabbit hole leads to another. Next thing you know, you're researching kangaroo strops. And it doesn't matter if you're sharpening a $7 mass market blade or a super steel like M390. Kangaroo tail seems to do it all. I already know some of you are gonna disagree with this video and the outcomes, but it's time. It's time to deep dive kangaroo versus cowhide. Let's grind. At the very bottom of my stropping rabbit hole was Dr. Vadim Krychek, who spoke very highly of kangaroo tails. He lived in Australia, so he had easy access. Eventually, I got my hands on them. Side by side with leather, cow leather, they kind of look the same. But when you get down, when you get in close, they are bizarrely different than one another. And most recently, I met a sharpening scientist named Dr. Marvin Grove, who allowed me to use these images he took with an electron microscope. So as I look at these images and I look for the answers as to why is kangaroo better than cow, I'm more confused than I was when I started. So I've decided to do what I do best. I'm gonna use the tools and resources that I have at my disposal, and we're just gonna do our own little study in the garage here. We've got an Edge-on-Up sharpness tester. If you haven't seen this device, it tests the sharpness of the apex, and that's it. It's not gonna help you understand the geometry of your knife, only the sharpness of the edge, but that's what we're focused on. We also are using a mass market Kiwi knife. It's just a run-of-the-mill knife, 57 HRC. And this knife just came off my Grit 800 CBN wheel, so it should be somewhere between 120 and 140 on the edge on up. After that, we're gonna start putting some different stropping materials to the test. First up, we're gonna use cowhide on a bench strop. This particular strop is probably the world champion of strops. I mean, there's more of these on benches across this world than anything else. Just a block of wood with a piece of cowhide leather. Now, there are different pieces of leather that are better than others. I prefer the shoulder piece. That's what I've been told. That's what I've been taught is the best. Now, I've already finished this video. I know the outcome. So here we are editing. And I'm gonna share with you my findings throughout. One huge takeaway I had is it's super easy to roll the edge on cowhide. Now, I mixed up some of my photography, so I had to actually go back and take a picture of a BESS 100 Apex. Super clean, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at what it looked like after that cowhide bench stropping. You see the top of the Apex? There's a lot of light bouncing off there. That thing's definitely rolled. I've just really never had good luck with bench strops. The hanging strop, that's another story. Hang tight, you'll see. I really am the perfect subject for this test though, because I'm not good at it. Aside from just not being good at it, it's uncomfortable. It's hard to find a bench that's the exact right size to be comfortable. And there you have it, I just lost 20% of my sharpness. So we're gonna run through all different styles of strops and different media, cow, kangaroo, in between each one to give us the best shot as some accuracy from these results. I'm gonna resharpen using the exact same protocol, the one I use every single day. Someone drops off a box of knives, this is how I do it. Someone mails me some knives to sharpen, this is how I do it. Coming off the Tormek Grit 800, I'm usually around BESS 120. Now, coming off a Grit 800 should put me somewhere close to where we started. I think it was 125. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we get. Line that bad boy up, boom, boom. Slightly sharper, perfect. Let's go ahead and take a look at what kangaroo leather does. It wasn't even just a couple weeks ago, one of my good friends and YouTuber, Rob with Valentini Garage, he was watching my stropping and he reached out and said, you know what, you should probably hold that strop tighter. And him having way more experience than me, I took heed and here I am holding that thing nice and tight. One thing I didn't consider, he's on cow leather, I'm on kangaroo leather, and I'm learning these two materials are wildly different than one another. They're not even on the same friggin' planet. You're gonna want to stick around because I just got some amazing shots on the macro lens. You're gonna want to see. Let's start talking a little bit about some of the findings between cowhide and kangaroo leather. Cowhide, definitely, it's a lot looser. It's more chaotic. To me, it almost looked like a mashed up pile of tobacco leaves, whereas kangaroo is very dense. It's uniform. It resembled to me a pack of bacon. I know. Let that one go. But cowhide, it has a lot more give to it, whereas kangaroo, it's got almost no give. It's very rigid. It's got high tensile strength. How interesting is that? About 25% sharper, whereas we lost 20 on cowhide. All right, we got this blade sharpened back up. And what I'm gonna do here on this hanging cow strop is attack it the same way that Rob with Valentini Garage or the last time I used the kangaroo strop, and that's nice and tight. And we're gonna see if this modern monkey can figure out how to keep that blade just right the entire time, and then we'll test again. I will say my confidence on the hanging cow strop versus the bench strop is huge. I feel way better. I feel way more at home. I don't feel like I gotta hold that perfect edge angle the entire time to avoid rolling. So let's see if I can match 95. Okay. All right. 112. That's roughly 20% greater. So I'm starting to see a theme here. Before I sharpen this knife one more time for one more final test that I really want you to see, because it's going to be a wild one. I think it's going to be the test that tells us everything we need to know. Here you go. Remember earlier I said that cowhide almost looks like a wadded up thing of tobacco? Well, there you go, guys. Right here. Here it is. And you notice on that apex, it really wraps around it. Look at that. And then we're gonna move over to the kangaroo here. By the way, this is in 120 frames per second at 5 times slow. And here you go. Here's your bacon. I told you it looks like bacon. Notice how it moves. It's so different. The two react so differently. I don't see that folding, that waterfall effect that we were seeing on the cowhide. I went ahead and set up the TS Prof in order to get these shots. This Kiwi knife, it is a bit flexible, so if you really pay attention, you'll notice it kind of moving up and down a little bit. Wasn't the best knife for this particular shot, but man, that looks like bacon. Am I wrong? A lot of fat though, not any kind of bacon I'd want to eat. All right, enough about bacon. Here we go. We're gonna sharpen this bad boy up one more time. I'm skipping the best test because we already know when we get off this 800, it's gonna be around 120, 130, somewhere in that mix. I'm gonna do a good job. And while I was wrapping this video up, I thought to myself, there's one more thing we could do, the ultimate finishing test. And here's the funny thing. Okay, I exaggerate a bit for this test, but it's not far from how I've been sharpening all along. So we're about to find out what the deal is when it comes to cow versus kangaroo. Let's go. Okay, we're gonna go ham with the stropping here. We're gonna go low and fast. I'm gonna try to attempt to roll the edge. See that flex in the belt? I went ahead and skipped the best test. Just getting a little bit worn out, but nonetheless, I mean, that thing's almost always 120 to 140 off the 800 stone. You guys seen it happen 2 or 3 times already. Look at that. Very aggressive curling, right? Let's do this side. Just kind of out of habit, I guess. I always finish on the soft side. It's a miracle I haven't cut this thing in half yet. All right, let's see what we got. All right. This is gonna be interesting. What are you guys thinking? Let me know in the comments below. Is this gonna be sub 120 or above 120? I'm gonna give you my guess right now. 93. All right, going for that same exact spot. That is wild. Okay, let's do one more for good measure. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. So here's the thing, the secret sauce. What is it? It's not what I thought it was gonna be. And let me tell you, we don't have a multi-million-dollar lab here to control every single variable. But you came along for the ride, you saw the real world tests. And let me tell you, the secret sauce, let me put it this way. I could hand a freshly apexed kiwi knife to my mother-in-law, throw her over there on that hanging strop, let her just go ape, you know what? And guess what? She's likely gonna find a way to rip the burr off of that knife. It's just so forgiving. Whereas with cowhide, you go over the angle too much, guess what? You're gonna start rolling that edge. That's the magic of the Kangaroo Strop. It's forgiving. And mark my words, this will have a place in my shop for many, many years, if not decades to come.